Hey guys, it's Chad from 6blog. Today I want to do a video just real quick and just show you the Vertex stove. This is a stove that a guy named Kevin Bailey he has recently created, and he is trying to get this backed on Kickstarter at the moment. I believe there's about another I don't know, 3 to 4 weeks left, something like that. And last night when I looked, I believed he was pretty much almost funded. So if you're looking for a cool Esbit stove, I definitely suggest you check it out. A couple of weeks ago, he emailed me and asked me for some of my opinions on it. So I checked out the Kickstarter page and watched his video and stuff on it. And I was actually somewhat intrigued by it. So I gave him some of my opinions from just viewing it. And I also told him that if he was interested in sending me one, I'd be happy to check it out personally and use it, and then provide him with some more feedback. So he got me one in the mail, and this is what showed up. I used it on the hike that I just went on about a week ago. It was just like a 2.5 day section hike along the AT. I used it to cook 2 dinners, 1 hot tea one night, and 2 I used it to boil some water for 2 coffees, 2 different mornings. Anyway, so I've got some footage in my video from that hike, and then I talked about it briefly in the post-hike gear talk video, but I wanted to do a separate video on this stove, just kind of show you a few things. So anyway, this is the Vertex stove. The all-steel stove that I have here weighs 1.7 ounce just for the stove. The stuff sack that it is in, I believe it weighs around 0.27 ounces. I'll have to check my math on that. But anyway, so that means that this entire thing that you see here weighs 1.97 ounces. It is an Esbit stove. The cool thing about it is that it's a stove, a pot stand, and a windscreen, although it's not a traditional windscreen, but it does have somewhat of a windscreen built into it. But it's all those pieces in one. So it's not exactly 1.7 ounces just for the stove. It's 1.7 ounces for all those pieces. Also, I want to say that this is the steel version that I have here that I'm going to show you. He has sent me 2 sidewalls made out of titanium, and I know he's talked about it to me, and I believe possibly in a thread on BPL about having a all titanium stove. I don't know for sure what what's in the works for that, so I'm not going to go into too much of that. Everything I'm going to be talking about and everything that I've used so far is the all steel version of the stove. So what I'm going to do here is, I've already told you a little bit about it. I'm going to show you how to put it together. I'll show you what it looks like. I've got approximately 24 ounces of water, or 3 cups. And I've got my 0.9 liter Evernew. This is one of my Evernew cook pots. I'm going to use a 14 gram Esbit tablet and see if it'll bring this water to a boil. This water came straight out of my tap. We've been having temperatures right down to below freezing over the last couple of nights. And then during the daytime, it hadn't been getting a whole lot warmer. I think it's only about 39 or 40 degrees right now. There is a little bit of wind blowing out here. I know you can't see it where I'm at. It's not very much at all. So we'll go ahead and take that for what it is. And then I do have my stopwatch here on my phone, and we'll time it. So first off, take it out of the stuff sack and look at it. And this is how it'll come. Of course, it won't be used and dirty. You can see there's a side that says Vertex. Both of these side pieces are exactly the same. They've got cutouts on one end, and the other end that's got like a little lip or a tongue with a little bit of a flange on both ends, and that's going to be what fits down in there. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, it looks real nice as far as looks. I mean, he's done a real nice job on it. You can see that after some use, it is going to retain a rounded shape. So one thing to do, that doesn't really bother me. But if you want to, you can just turn those pieces over together, and when you put in the stuff sack will help keep it closed. Also, I want to mention real quick, the stuff sack is a nice touch. Me personally, though, I've got a Tyvek envelope inside that I would prefer carrying it in, just because it weighs less. Weighs considerably less. It only weighs 0.07 ounces, so it's super light. But anyway, putting this thing together, what you do is just take one of the sides, and I like to take it with the Vertex, upright so that you can read it. This is the tray. The tray is going to have one side of it's going to be pressed down, and that's going to be where your Esbit tablet sits in. The other side, it's kind of raised a little bit. That's the bottom of it. You don't want to use that for the... I mean, I guess you could, but ideally you want to use this side for the tray. What you need to do is take one end and shove it through there and grab that with your fingers so that you can kind of hold it. Take your other side and put it through there like so. Now it is a little bit tricky, I'm not going to lie about it, especially the first couple of times you do it. What you need to do is, it helps to have it on a flat surface, kind of bend one end and stick that little lip through there, and then do it on the other end. Now I found that you got to be careful, and you want to make sure that both ends are securely in there, because one time I put it together and one end must not have been all the way in, and I kind of pushed down on it, and when I did, the thing popped apart. So you do want to make sure that it's put together securely on both ends, but just a quick inspection will show you that it's there, and just moving around. If it doesn't pop apart, chances are it's put together fine. And then that's it. That's how the stove sits. Of course, like I said, the cook pot's going to sit right there on top of it. The Esbit is going to sit right down in the middle there, and like I said, I've already burned a few of the 14-gram tabs and some of the 4-gram tabs, so that's why it looks the way it does. So, real quick, get my cook pot out here, and boy, it's been a while since I've used this cook pot. Ever since I got the ultralight version, I haven't used it. I'm going to add all 3 cups of the water to this cook pot. Now this is the most I've tried to boil in this at one time. Other times the most I tried to boil was about 400 milliliters at one time. You can read my review about that. I've got it all in my review. So anyway, I've got the water in there. Now I want to say, while I'm getting this ready, that I think that a 14-gram Esbit tablet used in an Esbit stove should be able to bring at least 3 cups of water to boil in rather decent conditions. I consider these conditions today decent conditions. So we're going to see how it does. If it was a windy condition or something like that, I would make more of an effort to find more of a wind block to block the wind and stuff around this. I would use my body or something, something like that. But in rather good conditions, it should work just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and light this. Alright, and that's going. Yep. So we'll go ahead and set that on there. And I'm going to start my timer. Like so. I don't know if you can see that. And we're going to see what happens. Let's see, kind of turn it a little bit so you can see it. I don't know if you'll be able to see flames or anything. I try to kind of get up under the shade just a little bit to help visibility some. But anyway, I'm just going to wait. And when this comes to a boil, or whenever the Esbit burns out, I'll turn the camera. Well, I'm going to leave the camera on. I'll just speed up everything. But I'll just wait to do any more talking and stuff until then. So hopefully that'll be fine there. Okay, guys. I think that the Esbit is almost burnt out. Yes, it has. And it never came to a hard rolling boil, but there are lots of tiny little bubbles. I don't know if you can see that. Lots of tiny little bubbles. So not a hard rolling boil. However, that would have been acceptable to me. I do wish it would have came to a bit more of a just a hard boil than what it did. But that's what there's actually just a little bit of flame left in there. Then you can see what the bottom of the cook pot looks like. Pretty good bit of soot over on the sides there. And it looks like the stove is completely out now. I think that that's probably about the best that it's going to do. If the water, like I said, it was pretty cold. I don't have anything to measure the temperature of the water, but it was pretty cold. Like I said, we've been having below freezing temperatures. Night before last it was down to 19, and then last night I think it was mid-20s. And then like I said, right now it's about 39 degrees outside. So it was pretty cold water. I do think that if it had more of a substantial windscreen to it, that it would have performed a little better and actually brought the water to a complete rolling boil. However, like I said, for me that would have been fine. So that is what it is. Let's see if it's actually cooled down now, so I'll go ahead and take it apart. Taking it apart is just opposite, just kind of squeeze on the ends. Those pieces will come loose. Usually just store the middle piece on the inside, and like I said, I just turn that piece around. And then that'll pack flat like that. So it can go right back in the stuff sack. Like I said, I would probably use the Tyvek stuff sack just because it would do just as well. It's just lighter weight than that. So anyway, guys, that's the Vertex stove. Like I said, it's going on Kickstarter right now. If you think you might be interested in it, just go and check it out. And if you'd like, go ahead and you can pledge and get one of these stoves for yourself. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. If you have any comments or questions, you can post them below, and I'll do my best to answer any of the questions you may have or reply to the comments. As well, if you have any specifically about the stove, you could probably go to, like I said, the Vertex site and send Kevin an email or something like that, or there may be some more information there will better answer your question. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time. Later.